You've called W K Steel a sweatshop. What makes it a sweatshop?
Some of the most dangerous working conditions I've ever seen. During the rain, when it rains in there, the water just continually runs in through the roof because it's leaks so bad. It's never been fixed. It's got holes in it. It actually looks like it's raining inside. They run down the electrical panels into the panels that actually energize the whole shop, where we have to plug our cords into. And it runs onto the floor, which is standing water. We drag electrical cords through that water. We're standing in it when we're welding. People are afraid of being electrocuted. People have been shocked in there, and it's been brought to the attention of the owners, and we were told just to be careful. Other unsafe working conditions are the paint fumes. Paint fumes, they spray a heavy red oxide paint in there, which is a flammable and also toxic, which no one has ever been told about respirators, even if they exist. And they're welding within probably 15 to 25 feet away, which makes it very volatile, ready to explode. And they do that pretty much all day, every day.
So the folks who are painting, they're not wearing any sort of respirator masks?
No, they were not taught. We have no safety committee that they were brought up to that says you must wear this respirator and this kind of respirator for this kind of toxic fume. It was never told to them.
Do you ever get dizzy from the fumes?
Yes, I have felt very nauseated. It actually has collected in my nose, collected in my throat. And when I've gotten home, I've actually almost thrown up, which isn't the greatest thing to say, but I've brought the paint up. It's been red, it's been yellow, it's been black, the same colors as the paint we used that day.
What do they do with the paint that's oversprayed in there?
It's supposed to be collected and thrown away into a disposable container and taken to a furnace to be burnt. But what they do is they put it back in their little 5-gallon cans and throw it into the dumpster.
Have there ever been any accidents?
Yes, quite a few accidents. I witnessed a gentleman get hit by a beam that was on the table that he was trying to lift with the crane with a plate dog, and a plate dog that he was using was actually thrown away 2 to 3 days before he used it. The supervisor dug the plate dog out of the garbage and put it back in use. The gentleman went to lift the beam, which was quite heavy. It fell off the table and smacked him in the leg, knocked him to the ground. He told a supervisor about it. The supervisor said, "You're all right, go back to work, you'll be fine." A few days later, he went to the doctors, and the doctor says, "You must take 3 weeks off. Your leg has been bruised very badly." That's one. Another one, a gentleman was using a mag drill, which is used to drill quite large holes in beams. You use a magnetic electrical cord to hold it to the beam, and it's used just like a regular drill press. He was never trained on it, and what it does, it picks up a lot of metal chips that get swirly around the drill. Well, he reached in before it stopped to clear out the chips, and it grabbed his hand and ripped all the meat off of his fingers.
What's the general attitude of management towards safety?
They're not concerned about safety. They're worried about more production and money. They have no training. They have no safety committees. They are very lackadaisical in any of their safety.
When you say no training, there's actually no training whatsoever, where there's actually a classroom to teach you or any of the refugee workers?
No, there is not.
OSHA standards?
No, there is not. No, there is not. In the 8 years that I was there, I attended one safety meeting, and it was about using a grinder. And only partial of the shop was invited. Only 5 guys out of the whole shop was invited to attend this.
Do they have safety equipment for you to use?
The only safety equipment that I know that is available are safety glasses.
What happens if you don't wear the glasses?
When I left there, nothing. If you did not wear the glasses, you didn't wear the glasses. It was up to you.
So there's no enforcement?
No enforcement.
What's the condition of the shop like, besides the water running in? Can you see what you're doing in there? Does it seem ventilated, or?
The only ventilation fan is on the back side of the shop, 100 and so many feet away from the painting area. It runs very slowly, if it's ever turned on at all. There are very little lighting. The skylights that were put in 50 years ago are very dark. They do not leave any sunlight in, and the only lights that are available are the overhead lights, which half of them are usually burnt out. The ventilation in the winter makes it even worse because all the doors are closed. The exhaust from the trucks that they start up in the mornings before they leave for their job sites are fired up in their diesel trucks, and those fumes just lay in that shop all day.
You've said that you've worked there for 8 years, and you did the same type of work prior to going to W K. So you have common sense towards safety and using equipment.
Yes.
What about the refugees? What specifically have you seen with them, and what do you know of their background? Or, you know, I wouldn't imagine they have OSHA or anything comparable to that in Burma.
Right. They're oblivious to the safety. They believe that the management tells them to do it. They believe it's safe. If they don't do it, they believe they'll probably be punished. And they have no idea about safety. OSHA has never been brought up to them. They've never had any OSHA's classes. They don't even know what OSHA stands for. The management has never told them about OSHA. They've never said, well, if you have any complaints here, you can call OSHA. They don't know if they could call OSHA. They've never been taught anything about safety or any kind of any OSHA requirements at all.
Is there any way for a refugee to communicate with the company about safety issues?
I believe that there might be one person that might be able to translate, but he is not the same dialect as most of the refugees. So he can't understand everything.
Is there anything you'd like to add as a final word on the safety conditions there?
The safety conditions are appalling. There is no way that this place should be not deemed a sweatshop because of the working conditions. It's not, this is America. Every person wants to have a safe place to work, be able to go home at the end of the day not feeling sick and not being afraid to go to work the next day that they're going to be killed.